Hey everyone, it's Kim, the Homeschooling Grammy, coming at you today with a continuation of Homeschooling on a Budget series. And in this video today, I'm going to be covering what I am using for science. So this is being hosted by Ingrid over at Mommy and Mia Homeschool Chronicles. So there will be a link to her channel in my description box below. And there will also be a link to the playlist so that you can take a look at what other homeschoolers are doing on a budget for science. So if you haven't been to my channel before, welcome. My name is Kim. I'm the Homeschooling Grammy. I love to do collabs and these kinds of videos, day in the life, curriculum reviews, and all that kinds of fun stuff. So if you're interested, stick around and we'll get started. Okay, so here we go. So we have decided this school year to use the Sassafras Science Adventures Volume 1 Zoology by Johnny Congo and Paige Hudson. And we were so excited that we actually started at the very end of our school year. And we school year round, so it's not really the end, but kind of like the continuation. However you want to look at it. Anyways, we went ahead and we did start this. We've been on a small break for the last couple of weeks, and we probably will go on break again here real shortly because my house is about to become really busy with 2 more of my grandchildren coming to visit for a couple of weeks. So that'll be super fun. We'll just do a bunch of field trips and call it school. So anyways, we're using Sassafras Science Adventures Volume 1 Zoology, and we are loving this. It is so much fun. It doesn't even feel like school to us. And total, I spent $32. That included this book, and we went ahead and I did the download for lap booking. You have a choice. You can do the note booking or you can do the lap booking. We chose to do the lap booking because my granddaughter is only 6 years old, and I thought that would be a whole lot more fun for her to do. So what I'm going to do first is I guess I will kind of take a look at this book with you first. It is done in story form. It is about 2 little children that have failed science, and they get sent to their Uncle Cecil's for the summer, and he's kind of like this mad scientist, and the kids are really disappointed because they usually go to summer camp and they can't go to summer camp this year because they failed science. So now they get stuck with their crazy Uncle Cecil, and it is in chapter form. So to give you an example, like chapter 3, Lost in Elephant Valley, Eyeing Elephants. And so it's totally in story form. It's kind of would remind you of the story of the world, except I feel like this is a lot more fun in a different kind of way. So anyways, let's take a look at the lap book portion, and this will actually give you an idea of more. Let me see if I can get y'all a little closer without having a total disaster happen. Okay, so here we go. Here's the table of contents. So as you can see, it covers grasslands, desert, domestic farm, rainforest, deciduous forest, bamboo forests, the Arctic, and the ocean. So we will go ahead and I will kind of show you like what a week looks like. So what we decided to do, so you have a choice. You can either do like a full lap book, or you can do like 8 mini lap books. And we actually chose to do the full lap book. I just thought it would be easier to have all of the information in one place instead of having to keep track of 8 little mini books. That way it'll be really easy for my granddaughter, you know, to be able to go back through and remember what we've done. And it's just been a lot of fun, as you'll see here shortly. So anyways, they also give you a supply list. So here's the supply list. So for example, for the Grasslands mini book, mini lap book lesson 1, you'll need a toilet paper tube, foil, rubber bands, construction paper, and a flashlight. And so for each lesson, it'll go through exactly what you need to do the scientific demonstration. And it's a demonstration. It's not really an experiment. It's more of a demonstration. And actually, let's see, what did we do? We did giraffe saliva just recently, and that was really cool. We had fun doing that. Let me see. So then, we move on. So, okay, here's an example of a lesson, and I'm going to move on to the rainforest because we haven't done this lesson yet, and I'll give you an idea. So for the Rainforest Mini Lab Book Lesson 1, you'll have a reading assignment. So the reading assignment will be read Chapter 8, Zipping Through the Amazon of the Sassafras Science Adventures Volume 1 Zoology. And then there's also additional books from the library that you can get for the lesson that you're doing. Now, for us, I've struggled a little bit because we have a really small library, but for people who have access to larger libraries, this would be perfect. So they have some really good books that you can actually read as read-alouds along with doing your lesson for the week. And then it'll go into your notebooking, the vocabulary that you will have for this particular lesson, the directions on how to do the lap book for this lesson, the materials that you will need, in this case, for the scientific demonstration. You're going to do a rainforest in a bottle, and you're going to need a 2-liter soda bottle with a top, some gravel, some potting soil, and several small plants, scissors, tape, and water. See when it's time to do your demonstration. So here's what the mini lap books kind of look like. It kind of gives you an idea. So in this particular, I'm on deciduous forest. We don't want that one, do we? Well, I guess we'll use deciduous forest. But anyways, in this particular one, it gives you like the koala bear and the rabbit, the owl, and the samba deer. And it gives the classification of the animal, it gives the name, it gives what food, it gives the location of which they live. So then also, here's the rainforest template that you will use. And I just cut these out and I let my granddaughter color them in. So here again, this is the rainforest. This is actually a map, and so you will go ahead and color in the area where these animals live. And I actually was able to find a really cool felt map with animals at the Target dollar spot that worked out really well for me, and some of the animals were actually included. So we've been able to actually put our animals on our little felt map at the same time. But then it'll give, so your student will write like interesting facts about the rainforest, and in our case we have to help her because she is not writing completely on her own at this time. And then it'll give examples of the animals that can be found in the rainforest. And then it has these Skidat mini book templates. So here again, you'll have the animals. Like this one is a sloth, it's an herbivore, and its location is in the Amazon rainforest. So then on the inside, you're also going to help your student put information about this particular animal, what it eats, where it lives, all of that kind of stuff. And then also with each lesson, you will have vocabulary. So you'll have some vocabulary, and this one, the rainforest and amphibians are included in the vocabulary for that lesson. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to actually show you our lap book because that's actually where most of the fun is, besides the reading of the stories, which my granddaughter is just totally engrossed in the story, and so are we. So all I did is I just put my lap booking material that I downloaded and printed in this pretty large 3-ring binder and printed this page to make it look fancy, I guess you could say. So anyways, here is our lap book. Now, I've never done a lap book before. I had no clue, so I'm not even sure that this was the way that it was supposed to be put together, but this is the way I put it together and it's working. So anyways, this is my lap book of zoology with the sassafras twins. So here you go. And we're on, I think, chapter 5 now. So we've done like 4 lessons. And we haven't done anything real recently because we're on break. But anyways, so here you go. So what I usually have her do a lot of times while we're reading is to go ahead and color in the pictures. So I'll give you an example. So the first lesson we did was on the grasslands. So when you open up your little mini book, it says here, interesting facts about the grasslands. So after we read the story, what I do is I ask my granddaughter, okay, so what are some facts about the grasslands? What did you learn? What did you learn from the twins, the sassafras twins, today when we're reading? And so then she'll give me orally answers to the questions that I'm asking her, and I will write them down in this little book for her. So there's a facts page, then there's the location, and in this case, it was Africa, so she was able to write Africa herself, and she colored in Africa. And then it lists all the animals that can be found in the grasslands of Africa. So the elephant, the giraffe, the cougar, leopard, sorry. And then, so here we go, individual animals. So here's the lion. Classification is mammal. It's a carnivore. Its location is the African grassland. So there again, I will ask her questions. What do we know about the lion? And she answered, they're predators. They eat zebras. They're carnivores. They eat meat and they live in pride. So these are all answers that she said that either my husband and I wrote in for her. And then of course we did it again for the cheetah and the giraffe and the elephant. And then there's this little pocket that you can put your vocabulary words in. And I will show you the vocabulary words that we had for the grasslands. So first, the definition of a grassland, a habitat characterized by vast grassy fields. And then she learned about the food chain, what a carnivore is, what an herbivore is, what an omnivore is, and what a mammal is. And then again, same with the desert. When we moved into the desert, we went to this lesson. And again, she colored the front page, and then she learned about the location. So we actually drew a little triangle to show where the desert was that we were speaking about. And if I can get my fingers to work, we might actually be able to turn this page. And then interesting facts about the desert. It's very hot, it has a little water, it's very sandy. So then again, these are all answers that she recalled after having read the story to her. Animals that can be found in the desert. And then again, goes through each animal that is found in the desert. The camel, the cobra, fox, the spiny-tailed lizard. Same thing again. We would go through, give information. Their venom stops hearts and lungs from working. They make their head flat to look bigger. They bury their eggs in the damp, warm air places. Eat small vertebrates. Jaws are elastic so that they can swallow their food. So, just giving an idea of what the cobra does. And then same thing again. We'll have all of our vocabulary stored in here. But so you get an idea of the larger lap book. And like I said, I chose to do the larger lap book because I thought, at least I won't have all these little tiny books like all over the place. That would just make me crazy. And this way we know exactly where everything is. And I also got to thinking, I wanted to show you one other thing in here, because they give you an idea of how to set up your week. I'll show you what we did. And you can do it any way you want it. So, possible schedule for the grasslands, for example. And as you can see, I've checked these off because this is when we did it. Like on day 1, read the section entitled Look a Lion of Chapter 2 in the Sassafras Adventures Volume 1, and then complete the Lion Skidette mini book. So you don't always read the whole chapter based on this. And then like on day 2, read the section entitled Chasing Cheetahs of Chapter 2 and complete the Cheetah Skidette mini book, and so on and so forth. And then actually, so this grasslands lesson actually is done over a course of 8 days or 2 school weeks. So like in the second week, on day 4, you would actually do the scientific demonstration, which this particular one was the giraffe saliva that I was talking to you about. And it gives you a chance to go over vocabulary words, complete, you know, your coloring and whatever it is that you might want to do. And yeah, this is wonderful. We just love it. If you have any other questions, just let me know. We have really enjoyed this so far, but as you can see when you go to the back, there are like lots of different things that we will be covering in the future, like the life cycle of a butterfly, the life cycle of a frog. There's a place here like for book narration. So if your child is older, you can actually you know, like with some of the books that they give suggestions to read, you can actually have your child, you know, the title of the book that was read, give their own narration along with a picture that they draw. So it really works well from like kindergarten, I would say, right through 6th grade. But here you can see all of the other lessons, like the Guide to the Domestic Farm, all these other things that we will be covering as we go through this book. So anyways, that's that. Okay everybody, that's a wrap. That's what I'm going to be using for science for our Homeschooling on a Budget series, hosted by Ingrid at Mommy and Mia Homeschool Chronicles. So go ahead and take a look at her channel. Her link is in the description box below. And also take time to take a look at the playlist. There will be other YouTubers that have come on in and homeschoolers that are giving what they're using for their science curriculum this year on a budget. So I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun making this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll talk to you soon.